This is a very impromptu greeting as we come into this really transitional time in the cyclical cycle of the year, which is the Yule season and the Winter Solstice. I am literally in my pajamas in a morning that's just before the Winter Solstice because the sunrise behind me, which peaked just a moment ago, was just something that I wanted to capture as I shared this message. I always look forward to sharing these quarter points of the year, both the equinox and solstices of the year, and also the quarter points, as it's such an important reminder to reflect on where we are, where we've been, and where we're moving toward or growing toward. And for me, this Yule season is really special because I find that in my own healing process, leaving toxic church culture as a clergy and reclaiming this season has been a real journey of growth and self-awareness that I want to share with those who may be experiencing something similar. So this is my fourth Christmas, my fourth Advent, if you're aware of that word, outside of, again, toxic church culture, where there's an expectation of servant leadership that really harms women leaders, and caregivers. And for me, as a mother of 3 young children, that caregiving responsibility is an important part of my life, but one in which I want to be in charge of the narratives and expectations around that caregiving role. So I felt as I left that toxic situation and culture, I've been reclaiming this season in a way that honors the ways I want to cultivate ritual with my family without spreading me too thin, without being a people pleaser or overfunctioner, which very much is an expectation placed on women in a variety of spaces in today's society. So this morning is a beautiful, quiet, chilly mid-December morning. And for me, it reminds me of this aspect of gardening that I learned a few years ago when I was doing some grief workshops in the congregations that I was serving. The idea of midnight gardens. These are gardens that are specifically cultivated for night blooming. And there are specific species of flowers and fauna and moss that specifically grow during the evening time. I love that there's this like one single tear coming down my face because it's so chilly this morning. Maybe there's more to that than just the weather. But this midnight gardening I have found to be really inspirational because these particular species actually need the darkness and need that environment to thrive. And I do find it's very easy for us to sort of rush through those darker times in our life, those challenging moments when we do not see the light or feel the light in as strong a way. We want to rush through that or sort of get through that in as quick and painless a way as possible. But I have found that in particular, my own seasons of darkness and challenge over the past couple years, really transitioning my priorities in life, have been such a fruitful time of growth and really developing deep roots in the things that I value most and the people that I value most. And so I invite you to maybe do a little research on midnight gardening and what kind of species cultivated in that environment could give you inspiration, maybe some images of, here's that tear again, I love it, and some images that will carry you through this season. So I wish you a very meaningful Yule season as we celebrate the winter equinox in the Northern Hemisphere here, the longest night, and that we see that there is potential and opportunity within that longest night to find deeper truths that will really carry us into the most authentic and most reflective space in our life, truest to who we are at our core.